he got stabbed with a sword as well, like a sword, and the sword like pierced his back, and it tore through his anal cavity.
Come on.
Then 2nd of January, 10:30, I get a phone call from police like, yo, in fact it was my wife. Yeah, she phoned me and she was like, oh, Rico's been stabbed. And I was like, Rico, that's my son, my oldest son. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, it just doesn't make sense. It would just be like someone phoning and say, yo, you've been stabbed. Like, you'll be like, what? Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't even compute. And I was just like, this is mad. Like, what? So
he got stabbed 10 times, right?
He got stabbed 11 times.
11? Wow.
11 times. So
it's a blessing that he's still walking. Like, we saw him yesterday. You wouldn't even think.
You wouldn't know it. Like, he's very mature, and he's dealt with it emotionally.
That's just down to the village effect, right? It's not just us, it's like a whole family support network, you know? So he got stabbed 11 times, and then the next phone call that I got was from the police, and they was like, he ain't gonna make it. So we suggest that you get down to the hospital as soon as, because we don't see him, he's not gonna make it. I'm in Bristol, I'm 2 hours away, right? So I've got like a 2-hour drive down to London, and I'm like, oh my God, like, my phone's there, and I'm just like, I just don't want my phone to ring. So just two things. I believe in the power of prayer. I don't know where people are with it, but I believe in the power of prayer. Specifically, if you're in a mad situation and that prayer is aligned to your true feelings, right? Exactly. And that's the only time that I tend to pray. Like, I don't have wasted prayers. I do now. I give thanks to the universe or whatever the higher energy is. That's me in it. But like, I know that prayer actually works, because that was what I prayed for. Was that, listen, keep him alive. Don't make my phone ring. And it was because I didn't want that phone call in the way, because someone was going to say to me, oh, he's passed, right? So
that 2-hour drive, what was going through your mind?
That was it. That was my prayer all the way down. Wow. That was my meditation. That was my thing. You know, don't let my phone ring, keep Rico alive. Don't let my phone ring, keep Rico alive. And I kept that mantra up until I reached St. Mary's Hospital. Got in there, and the whole family was there, and you know, it was like, what's going on? It was like, he's fighting, lost a lot of blood, that kind of thing. I was like, all right, cool. So I just sat down for my meditation and that. Then when we saw him, I was like, I think he might make it, you know? And then it was just like, well, okay, what's the condition afterwards? And then it's been the whole process to rebuild him after that, because then he had the colostomy bag. You know, it was stabbed 11 times. He was in Rainer's Lane.
So tell us the story.
The context behind that is that this is just after New Year's. I spoke to him and my son in New Year's, like, Happy New Year's, you look good, yeah. So I'll be down I was going down the same day anyway, so I'll be down on the 2nd or the 3rd. So we'll meet up and we'll go and have dinner and that. So it's like, yeah, cool. He was walking my younger cousin back to the train station, because they all stayed at the house, and he was walking back to the train station down by Rainer's Lane. And then he said that when he was down there, you know, he kind of noticed some guys with hoodies, and he weren't too sure what was going on. Next thing you know, he realised he was running after them. Wow. So he just started to run with my cousin, and they ran, and then they got split up, and then Rico ran into a cul-de-sac, and all the guys ran with him, and they just started stabbing. Stabbing. You see, he just started screaming, and then on the last scream, I think someone turned the light on, and that's when the guys ran off. And honestly, the people that turned the light on, they saved his life. And as well as that, he couldn't move. So he crawled to the door on his arms, and that's what saved him. If he stood up, he would have died, because his arteries were hit. If he just stood up, he would have died. And because he just laid and dragged himself to the door, the people that answered the door, it just so happens to be, it was his friend from secondary school that recognised him. Her uncle knew the life-saving techniques and pressed towels in the right places, kind of thing. Ambulance came and took him, and you know, he's here. So did you feel sort of the same? It's kind of like the same people you're trying to help. Are the same people that. It was mad. Did you kind of feel like, why am I doing this? Yeah, for certain. So for
your energy, it must have been everything.
Yeah, it was all over the shop. I mean, you know, the first part is like, for me, it was just like someone harming your child, and you know your child wouldn't harm a fly. You know, you wish death on everybody. You know what I mean? Like, and you're kind of like, nah, like, I want to know who did this kind of situation, because that's me, and there's not many things that I put myself to fighting for, but when it's my family, I'm willing to die straight away for his life. I'm doing whatever to protect mine. It's like, no one ain't gonna take my family. That's the other part of me. And then there's this other part of me, which is where you gotta be responsible. You want another family to go through this side of things and all of this stuff. So there was this internal conversation and conflict I was having at the time. So I just said, you know what? Like, on a real note, like, higher force again, like, if my son comes out of this situation alive and well, like in the next 4 months, then I'm gonna really reassess my values, you know, in terms of what I'm willing to do and what I'm not willing to do. You understand? But I got to be real. That was a dialogue within me, innit?
Yeah,
like, I know some people are kind of like, nah.
But it's only natural, isn't it?
Well, so
did you ever find out who did it all?
it was weird. I can get to that in a minute. So it's all kind of strange. But I'm waiting for this one, you know. Captivated by episode 3. I'll cut this up. But yeah, so the first part was just like, you know, if my son gets through this and he's got like full physical health, psychologically, I'm confident that I can get him back to being the human that he needs to be, you know. So he got stabbed with a sword as well, like a sword, and the sword like pierced his back, and it tore through his anal cavity. So he couldn't even shit, couldn't do nothing. He had to use a colostomy bag, and I think that was the hardest one for him because a lot of them were stab wounds here and there, but that one, you know, physical pain, and then actually. You know, Rico's a physical guy, you know, I mean, up until then he was doing a lot of PT work, so his body was looking good, and he prides himself on his looks and his body, you know, so it was just like, whoa, this guy's gonna have to have a colostomy bag. And at the time they couldn't say whether it was for life or we didn't know what the situation was, you know, but thank God, you know, everything progressed the way that it did, and, you know, the colostomy bag went, and, you know, he kind of had to, you know, get himself back to full physical health again. So, again, like I said, the conversation that I had internally, which was that I'm not putting up with this, like whoever done this has to pay. That conversation became null and void because I kind of promised if he gets through the situation, I got to question my own motives, you understand? So again, it was just like, all right, cool, like I got to leave that side behind now, and now just focus. And it was like I was getting contract calls, everyone's like, nah, I don't want to do nothing, I'm just focused on my son right now, and then we'll see in it. And then yeah, so then I was going through this, that kind of relapse of like, you know, I don't even know if I want to work with young people like this anymore, you know what I mean? Like, this is my son that's innocent, and this is, you know, I'm getting targeted in the situation. I'm like, nah, like I didn't know if I wanted to do it anymore, to be honest with you. And then when I was I'd done one more project actually. I'd done one more project in South London, and I kind of felt myself getting back into the groove again a little bit, but I was still not sure if that was what I wanted to do again. And I parked my bus in a place called, I think it was Hemel Heath. It was a farm up there that allowed me to park my bus up there. And parking my bus up there, and it broke down one night on my way to the farm. So it was a bit away from the farm. So I said to him, look, is it going to be cool here? He's like, it says the Heath. We haven't had any crime. It's, you know, it's a village. We all look out for each other. I'm like, all right, cool.
I saw this on ITV, by the way.
Yeah, and then next thing you know, lo and behold, it's the arson attack. Set the bus on fire. It's gone.
But why? To me, that just doesn't make sense.
Just don't mess around with bored country. You don't know what. These guys.
They saw a match.
There's a bus. Let's just burn it. Yeah, really? So they just burnt. They were just bored and burnt the bus basically, and then that fire kind of ignited me because it was one of those ones where I was driving my bus in Bristol because I moved to Bristol for a bit, so I was doing driving in Bristol. And the guy called me and he was just like, oh my God, Just, I don't know how to tell you this. And I was like, oh, what's up? He goes, your bus, it's gone. So I'm like, it's gone? Oh, what? They've towed it? And he goes, no, it's gone. I goes, gone weird, like where's it gone? Like, what's going on? It's like, he didn't want to tell me. He felt away and he felt responsible because it's a village, right? And he vouched for the village. So he was like, no, it's gone. It's like, there's no bus, bruv. So I'm like, what happened to it? He goes, no, it's been burnt. There's no bus left. So I'm like, whoa. So I'm like, all right, cool, listen. He goes, I'm going to send you the picture. I said, no.
I believe you.
Do you want to see the evidence?
Don't do none of that right now. So I've always kind of done driving jobs, from like doing touring and all the rest of it. I've always been on the road kind of thing. And mainly for me, it's like, with bus driving in particular, for some people they don't like the profession, but for me I enjoyed it because I like people. A lot of bus drivers don't like people, I do. And also it's where all my ideas come because no one can contact me. I can't have no phone or nothing. So it was the one place where I held my meditation. So I go into a bus thing and I miss people stop sometimes because I'm putting the world to right. You know what I mean? I'm having conversations and I'm really developing myself in that journey. So when he told me this at the time, I was at one in Bristol. And I said, look, I'm going to call you, but just don't tell me anything more in it. And literally in between the drive to the other side of Bristol, I said, right, you got to get everything back. and everything's gonna be bigger than what it was. Yeah, and it's gonna happen. Don't worry about it. I know you're pissed right now because you know it's like a gut. You know when the worst news happens and you get that gut feeling. Like everyone's just
you can't get rid of
that.
A series of things that were happening.
Yeah, so my son just survived, and then Rico, and I was like,
I'm done.
Yeah,
so I was gonna say everything will tell you no.
Exactly. It's the same thing. Carla phoned me. He's like, yo, like, bruv, like, what more? Like, what more? And I'm like, nah, bruv. It's cool, like, what's your bounce back? What's your bounce back? He goes, yeah, I said, no, what's your bounce back? No, what's this?
Yeah.
So, literally, the Evening Standard put out an article about Rico, about the stabbing. And I was vexed about it, but I thought, it's not the time. I'll get back to this at some point, right? And this was a Davenport. Yeah. And I said, yo, you ran a story about my son, I didn't like it, because there was no context. It was just like another black boy killed, right? Or sorry, so-called stabbed, right? So I was like, you didn't contribute to the fact that I'm a social activist and I'm working with young people. You didn't even include the fact that my wife's been investment banking for like over 13 years and is a senior investment bank manager. Like really, like we're middle class black folk, but you just dealt with us like on a working class level, which I don't mind. But keep that up, innit? Keep that energy up for everyone else. Because when Madeline's gone missing and her parents are doctors and all the rest of it, the whole country comes to a standstill, right? But when my son gets stabbed, and I'm a worker, I work for TFL, I'm in management, I bought my own bus to combat the situation. What, I'm not someone to be worthy of mention. So you're just like, listen, I'm so sorry, like come down to our offices, da-da-da-da. So I said, alright, cool. So I said, I ain't got time for that. What I need to do right now, here's the story, my bus has just been burnt down, I need to put it in the Evening Standard come next 2 days, Here's the contact to raise the money and all that stuff. It was like a GoFundMe account. So here it is, put this up, put it out there. Just get my money raised in it, and he was like, cool, I'll do whatever. So gave him the story, he pushed it out, and like that story kind of was weird because ITV came to the project the week before. They got bent down, and they they recorded the whole thing. I phoned them back, you got to come back, I've got no bus. So they came back, and that's where you saw the filming. So I was just like, right, I need to like use the media for my own purposes. Because it's not for me. You get me? I've got no qualms using their tools when it comes to my young people, right? So it's what it is. So by the time I phoned the farmer back, I was like, right, this is what I've done. And I'm going to come down to the farm in 2 days' time with ITV. We're going to come down, me and you are going to be in the press together. We're going to take photos and rah. He was like, yeah, look, whatever it takes, innit? And then that was literally the journey to getting everything back. And then a person called Annabelle came to my bus when it was fully functioning. She's like, look, you're doing a great job down here. And she came at the point, remember I told you I didn't really want to do the job, but I just did it anyway. She came to that service. And she's like, I'm going to nominate you for this award called Leap Awards. And Leap are like a really big charity, grassroots charity, and they acknowledge other grassroots charities. But they've got an annual ceremony in the Bloomberg building in central London, where they invite all grassroots and then winners and stuff like that. So she said, if you're nominated, it's big, because from that nomination you can kind of whatever. And I said, yeah, whatever. So she's true to her word. She nominated. We went. And the day that I went, I was with Rico, and this was like the first time that Rico was like colostomy bag free, and he was like, yeah, can you drop me to the barbers? And I'm like, it was sunny as well. I was like, you good to make this journey? He's like, yeah, I'm on it. So I'm like, cool, dropped into the barbers, jumped out of the car and was walking, and I was literally crying.